yeah, first time ever. We're live right now. So I'm not sure about you guys, but I'm extremely nervous.
Just a little. Just a little.
So we'll try to do our normal thing. Well, actually, let's try to get some context to the audience what this chapter was about.
About him trying to get his wife.
Mm-hmm.
That was the biggest sell of his life.
The biggest sell of his life.
Mm-hmm. The biggest sell of his life, and that's basically what it was, right? His experience of how he got his wife. So, yeah, there's a lot of sales lessons and personal experiences too. So, let's see what you guys got out of it. So, Blanca, you want to go first, as always?
Sure, yes, guys, let's turn to page 178, it's the
Okay.
second paragraph.
All right.
Oh my God. I will tell you ready? No, go ahead. I will tell you that the most important sale of my life was to sell, and also that if it were not for my view of selling as a needed skill in life and understanding of its technically, I would not have been able to get this worthy close. So at first I thought it was kind of annoying because the way he was so persistent trying to get his wife, like I would have blocked him. But then after reading this paragraph, I kind of got his viewpoint, like, because throughout the pages he gives you examples of everything we've gone through.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was committed, he would like touch base with people, whatever, just to be able to close this sale.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of like a summary. This paragraph tells you how hard he was so persistent to get his wife. It was like the best sale. Like it was
Mm-hmm.
a very worthy sale. Like he can't even put money on it, like money price, because he talks about like how he's had sales with like 80 million, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like by far the most worth it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of cool how he like summarized all the lessons that we learned already in this situation. But you would have blocked him, huh?
I feel like we all would. Yeah, like, oh my God, he's so annoying.
Yeah.
He would leave voicemails.
And then a whole year,
A whole year?
like give up.
Well, it was once a month for a whole year.
Once a month, oh my God.
And I'm pretty sure when he was like trying to be with her, you weren't able to like block calls like now on your phone.
Back in the days.
Oh,
Back in the
that's true,
days.
This is
yeah.
kind of an old story.
Yeah, this is like an old story, so he
Mhm.
wasn't able to get blocked.
Yeah, maybe.
Just rejected.
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, that's how story of how persistence pays off. So I think there's a lot to learn from it. Okay, thanks, Blanca.
Okay, well, my page is, my paragraph is on page 175.
Okay.
So it's like, it's kind of like towards the middle. I called her monthly for an entire year, leaving nice little positive messages. Not only did she take any of my calls, but she never returned a single one of them. But that didn't stop me, as no real salesperson will stop because of a little rejection. Yeah, I like the little paragraph. Yeah, well, same thing as like Blanca said, we just have to be very persistent with our clients, like when we go ahead and make phone calls and we get a quote, just be persistent with them. And this little paragraph just basically made me realize, like, well, okay, just even with a little rejection, I can keep like a client for a whole year.
Yeah, yeah.
Even they said no.
A few months.
A few months, yeah, but not a year, yeah. We're just gonna be persistent.
How many of you guys feel like you guys are too persistent at times?
I try not to.
How many of you guys feel like you guys are not persistent enough? Okay, so you guys are kind of in between. You guys have the right amount right now?
It
depends on the client, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know who to question, who not.
Yeah.
So.
Sometimes they tell you like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm interested, but I'll call you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll email you.
I'll email you when I'm interested or when I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's important to get the read of each situation. Huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or
You can't do the
sometimes
same
they're
thing
like,
for
yeah,
everything.
but I can't today. So then they're like, okay, well they haven't told me no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
I am interested, and then that's when I'm like, okay, I'll keep calling her, because
Right.
she told me she is interested.
So you're like helping them out,
Mhm.
just to get push them over the
Yeah,
edge.
so there's just different scenarios.
What other scenarios? I think another scenario that makes a big difference between following up too much or too little is if the premium. Right, if like the premium is a big policy, then you're gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna spend a lot of time with this one.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna follow up maybe a year, or when does your policy renew? And then put on your calendar, I'm gonna call this person in December. Small policy, then, you know what I mean? You're probably.
Right now.
And sometimes you also kind of get the tone of the conversation.
Uh-huh.
like sometimes you can tell like, oh, they're not interested
Right.
Yeah.
because their tone changes.
Right.
Mhm.
So then you're like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and then you just follow up once more, like, oh, did you get help? Oh, well, I'm not. Then they tell you, oh, I'm not
Mhm.
interested.
Yeah.
It was too high.
So it's time management. For him, this situation was like a big sell for him. You know, it was like his goal. Like it's like an ultimate goal. So it's so worth it to, you know, to go all the way and try as hard as he can. So certain things are worth it. You know, so big sales or big accomplishments or big goals, it requires a lot of persistence and not giving up. Okay, thanks, Galia. What do you have for us, Jazz?
Mine's on page 178.
Okay.
It's the summary actually.
Okay.
The first, where it says your ability to pursue others determines by itself how well you will do in all areas of your life. Selling is an absolute necessity for really living life and making your dream come true. Why is selling a career for many? It's requirement for all. You need to sell, negotiate, and pursue others in life to get what you want. How well can you do that will determine what kind of life you will have and how many people you can influence. So I like that little paragraph because I feel like it's deep. I just it's just like it's just, you know, how persistent and like selling all that, like not just at work, but it's like it's in your whole life that you can use it for, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Negotiating, you always negotiate with people even if it's not at work, it's an outside work, you buying a house, buying a car, whatever the case is, it's
Mhm.
things that you're always gonna use in life, not just at work. Yeah, at work it's part of our job and our career,
Mm-hmm.
but in everything it's something you learn to use it in different ways of your life.
Mm-hmm. Great. Yeah, that's really why going over this book is going to really help us, not only at work, but outside of work too. Anyone want to share us a story of how you were sold or how you sold somebody?
Well, when I got insurance the first time,
Mhm.
when I was 18 years old, I got my first car and I had to like buy insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to work at an insurance company, but I used to work at the corporate office.
Right.
And they charged me broker fee and I didn't even know.
Uh-huh.
So when I went back to work, they told me, oh, how much did you pay? I'm like $300 and then $150 a month or something like that. And they're like, $300? They charge you broker fee? I'm like, I don't know. Like, and I checked and they did. They had told me $200 broker fee, and I didn't even know. So they closed me, you know.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, okay. And then they refund me, but
Oh, they did?
because
Okay,
I
that's
worked at
nice.
the corporate,
Mhm.
so they had to. But I didn't even know.
Mm-hmm.
They like closed me really bad right there.
Oh, really? Okay. What about anyone want to tell, since we're, you know, just live, no big deal. Anyone want to tell us a story of how a relationship closed?
Well, everybody that's in a relationship has been closed.
I mean, what's your version of his story?
No, with like Alex, he calls me and like would message me like every day, like, oh, have a good day at work,
Oh, yeah?
have a good day at
Okay.
work, and like, oh, we should go out we should go out have some drinks, and I'm just like, yeah, let me know, but I never like wanted to. I was just like, yeah, let me know. And so one of my friends was like, just go, it's just one drink. I'm like, okay, yeah. Just went out for that one drink and then
She got
What was the effective date?
No, that what?
Oh, no. Well, when was this? For how long did he try?
For like 2 months.
2 months every day?
Like he would message me,
Uh-huh,
and then
okay.
he would call me, and then I'd be like, oh, I thought he was calling me. Like, should I answer him? And then I'd be like, oh, I can't answer. Or he'll be like, oh, like, come out. And I'd be like, I can't, I have a babysitter. You know, like, I'd make up excuses.
Well, yeah, that's a...
And then he told me, like, the last time I asked you to go out to have a drink, that was going to be the last time I asked you.
Oh, so he gave you like almost like a...
No, he didn't tell me, like, oh, this is the last time.
Oh, okay.
But he just said, like, he's like, oh, let's go out and have some drinks. And I told my friend, I was Debbie, I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to go out with him. Like, no, I don't know. And she's like, dude, it's just a drink. Just go. And she's like, it's not going to hurt. I'm like, I guess. So, but
Oh.
later he told me that was going to be the last time
Oh,
he asked
really?
me out.
Oh, wow.
When
He was
closed
about...
the deal already.
Yeah. No, but he was about to...
Like he was going to
Yeah,
give up,
yeah.
basically. Yeah.
So thank God for Debbie. you owe her big time. Seriously though. But yeah, big props to Alex, for just, sticking with it and knowing what you want. I think that's a big problem of people not knowing what they want. So knowing what they want and following through with it. So it's a great sales job right there. All right. All right. Okay, Laura, what part of the book chapter do you like?
Mine's on 174 to 175.
Mm-hmm.
It says, if the sale was meant to be, it was up to me. I've heard salespeople blame the customer for years for sales they didn't make. I immediately became even more determined to make this relationship happen. If someone was to be sold, it was up to me, not to Elena. If I wanted for her to make it happen, it never would. So I had to get creative. Buyers don't buy until someone sells, and it doesn't take two, it only takes one. I decided at that moment that I would be the one to take complete responsibility for selling myself to her and closing the deal. Like that.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Well, like obviously someone's not gonna buy from somebody that's rude, so you kind of have to sell like your friendly personality, or first make that relationship
Mm-hmm.
before trying to sell them. Like it's not just like sell. It's like
Right.
try to build that relationship with the client before you get the sell.
Right. I like this line a lot too, because a lot of people think it takes two, and then a lot of times people will put the blame on the customer. Like, the customer didn't have enough money, or the customer didn't get me, or always putting the blame on somebody else. And in relationships too, like this person, like that other person. So even though, what do you guys think? He's saying it doesn't take two, it only takes one.
I think it depends.
I think it depends too. It's different scenarios.
It's a pretty strong statement, but it's actually a better mindset to have. Like, if I want this relationship to work, it's not up to her, it's up to me. Okay, if I want this sale to get a sale, it's up to me, it's not up to them. So it puts a little bit more control and accountability on what you're doing, rather than putting the blame and shifting the blame on somebody else. If the relationship's not working, then you want to say, hey, it's because of me. And if I wanted to make it work, it doesn't even matter. Like, he thinks it doesn't even matter. Like, it's not even up to her. It's like up to me for me to get her. So I think it takes two is sometimes used a little too often, and I think changing it to only takes one person to believe in it is what what gets the sale done. All right, Joe, you want to step into the camera?
No.
That's not fair. Yeah, that's not fair. Alright. Page 178.
Uh-huh.
Selling is the ultimate fuel for every economy in the world. Without people selling ideas, concepts, and products, the world would never improve. If you want to make a difference on this planet, learn how to sell. So, I like that one because, technology is always growing and it's helping us get sales, so we just gotta adapt to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's why we're doing this, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Tell us about some good news we've had with our accounts.
We hit 2K followers on Instagram and 30 away on Facebook from 2K.
Yeah, good job, ladies. Marisol and Joe. I think that.
We had like 120.
I remember we had zero.
Like I want to get to 100 or 150.
Yeah.
I remember.
Wait, you guys remember when we were at zero, actually?
Yeah.
So, great job. Okay. We had a meeting about building an audience, but I think the IGTV has been really working out really well too. I'm not sure if you guys saw Sylvia and Marisol did an interview. So we're going to have a little series where Sylvia's going to interview each one of you guys, your experience, or have some questions and stuff like that. So not everybody, but people who are up to it, because that has, I think, worked really well. And that one was about how to pass your license test. So what we want to do is create value for the viewers, not about what we want to show, but what someone would be interested in. And I think that mindset is what gets people, interested actually in following us. Okay, so great job there. All right, Marissa, what do you have for us? What
So
part
I
of the chapter?
actually have the same one as Jazz.
Okay.
It's on page 178. But I'll just read the last part. You need to sell, negotiate, and persuade others in life to get what you want. How well you can do that will determine what kind of life you will have and how many people you can influence. I like this because I didn't think of it this way until I read this. Like, you don't really think as life as a sale, but it is. Like, when you're friends with someone, you're basically selling them to be your friend, in a way. And just in your relationships and everything. So I liked it because it gave me like a new point of view.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What type of sell do you do when you want to make a friend?
I'm nice.
Yeah.
I try to be nice. Communication, I think,
Mhm.
and then I think humor usually
Yep.
is a big part.
Mm-hmm.
Try to make them laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And
Maybe
then do something stupid.
maybe availability. You know,
Yeah.
just being there for a friend. You know.
Yeah.
Those are all things that you it's actually a sell. You know, it's an effort you make. And a friend or a relationship or even to yourself, you know, what are some things you need to sell to yourself?
Confidence.
Confidence, yeah. You gotta like sell yourself like, hey, you know, like I could do this. So that self-talk is a sell job too. And this book kind of talks about it. That's like one of the most important things is to believe in yourself, sell yourself before you're able to be able to sell the product. All right, thanks, Marisol. All right, so what do you have for us?
Mine's on page 174.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the third paragraph, and it starts off where my mom was excited and asked if we'd been out yet. I told her that there was just one little problem. The girl had no interest in me. My mom, wanting to protect her son from being hurt, offered her advice on this situation, stating, Grant, it takes two for a relationship. If she isn't interested in you, then you can't impose yourself on her. Protect yourself from negative information. Be careful where you get advice when you are going after your dreams and goals. Even the people who love you the most can offer information that could possibly cause you to get off the path of your dreams. So I like this paragraph because, you know, I'm speaking for myself. I usually go to my mom a lot. And, you know, not saying that it's bad advice, but they do just want to protect you. So the advice that sometimes they may give you may not be the best one. Mm-hmm. And I've had experiences like that in the past. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you know, not always the information or the advice that your loved ones give you is the correct one sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's not no fault of their own. You know, we talked about this before. It's really out of love.
Right.
A lot of the times, the people that really love you, their advice is the least riskiest, the one that will guarantee you won't get hurt. Right. But to get something, you got to take that chance. You know, so you know, I look at it like it's like I don't get mad at them for giving me advice that, you know, or I don't like disagree or get arguments. I look at it like, oh, they're just saying that because they love me.
Right.
But you still have to make your own decision because at the end of the day, you're the one who's going to live without consequences, not them. So you got to really determine those type of things yourself. So yeah, great line there. Thanks, Sylvia. Okay. All right. Anybody else? Any juicy stories about how they were sold?
Juicy stories.
How were you sold then?
Laura.
We want to hear how you were sold.
How were you sold?
Well, I was the one.
You're the one trying to sell yourself, right?
Well, so I'll let you next. Well, you guys know the story. You know, we
No, we don't.
Yeah, but not the live people.
I don't know the story.
I don't know the story.
Oh, really? No. Well,
Juicy story.
I sold her some insurance.
That was juicy.
So, you know, I had to provide great customer service.
Are you serious or are you bluffing though?
No, it's true.
No, it's true.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So what happened next?
What happened next? It's just, you know. What do you mean? What happened next?
Yeah.
Went on a date, yeah. Went on a date. Yeah. And
I can share mine. Mine was
Okay,
a little.
thank
Mine
you.
was. So this was back like in 2009, and I remember I was walking to the grocery store with my cousin, and there was like a group of guys across the street. So the group of guys was like right here, and me and my cousin were across the street. So they were, you know, like we passed by, and then they're like, "Oh, damn it," you know.
it was like a holler situation?
Holler? But that's how I met him. Like, I wasn't gonna turn around. I wasn't even gonna go because, you know, like, I just, like as women, you
No,
hear
we
that
don't.
almost like all the time. So I'm like, whatever. I'm not even gonna like waste my time. So they're like, hey, come over here, and I'm like, no. I'm not even gonna turn around. But my cousin's like, oh, they're calling you. You have to turn around. That's rude. So like I turned around and I'm like, I just went, hey. And then they're like, oh, come over here. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna go over there. And I just went like, you come over here. And I'm like, he's not gonna come. I'm like, he's not gonna come. And he actually started coming. I'm like, oh shit, he's actually coming. So after that, he just kind of sold me on that because I'm like, in my head, I'm like, he's not gonna come over here. He's not. He's gonna be too shy, and I'm just gonna like keep on going. But he actually did come. So I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, from there we just kind of hit it off, and
Okay.
yeah, we were talking for like a whole year, and then he gave me like an ultimatum. Like he's like, hey, so we've been talking for like some time already. Like, what's gonna happen? Like, I really want something with you. And, I just want to know, like, what's going to happen? Are we going to go out? Are we not? So I'm like, I got to make my decision,
That's kind of a hard sell.
Yeah, but I mean, he like, that's just how he sold me on himself, like, his
You gave you a little
perseverance.
hard sell, yeah.
Yeah, and then
It's
I'm like,
crazy how that
okay.
moment in time, like, because some people will not step up,
Yeah,
so that moment of judgment could change your life.
yeah,
Like, his life, that he
right,
said, you come here, and some people could be like, no, or like,
Right,
or
yeah.
be like, actually to be like, never mind, like, be scared, but
And that's where a lot of bad influence, or not bad influence, but like different people's like perspectives come in, like, oh, you're too young to be in a relationship, or you know what I mean? Like you should just enjoy, and then later they have a relationship, and then you're all by yourself.
yeah.
yeah,
You know?
Sometimes, when people give relationship advice, it's crazy because they're not the ones that have to live with the consequences. You know?
Right.
It's easy for people to say like, you should do this, you should do that, when they don't. It doesn't even matter to them. It doesn't affect them. So that's why it's so important to make your own decisions when it comes to like that
Yeah.
that type of stuff where it affects your life that much. Okay, thank you. So good again. All right, Alan.
So mine was 175, and I just really like that one sentence. Buyers don't buy until someone sells. I really liked it because it's true. Like here with us, people call us and ask for a quote. It's our job to sell them. Yeah, so I like that part.
Yeah, I think this is an important one too. What about your power-based situation, like people you know?
Use them as an advantage too.
And then you can't get the sell unless you what?
You ask.
You ask, right? So that's why we're kind of doing this, or social media in general, because you just have to be in a position to ask. So first they have to know what we're doing in the first place. If they don't know what we're doing, there's no way they can buy. So first you got to get them to know what you're doing, and then the second step is to ask. And the asking part is something that sometimes people struggle with. Have you gotten a little more comfortable with that, or you have no problem with that now?
I don't have a problem with it anymore. No.
Great. You kind of overcame that? Okay. How did that happen?
Just got out of my comfort zone and asked.
Right. Well, what's the worst that could happen, right?
They say no. No, thank you.
And sometimes by asking, you find out why not. And that reason is what now that you have that reason, that data, you could actually use that and figure out how to turn that into a yes. If you don't ask, you don't know why not. If you don't know why not, you don't know what else to say. So yeah, it's a great experience, a great learning experience. So I can see how the experience is helping out. All right, what you got for us?
176, it's the second to bottom paragraph. As well, also my friends was telling me to give up. I was walking down the street and saw this ugly guy with this beautiful girl, and I thought, how did he do that? I didn't know the answer, but I knew it wasn't because he quit. So I decided I wouldn't quit until I at least got an appointment, sold the product, which is me, and went for the close. You can basically, it's basically like if we, have our own goals, and then we see someone that like sold like a really big policy, and it's like, how the hell did they get that? But all we know is that they didn't give up, so we could like basically apply whatever we've seen people get that we want. We could apply it to that and to work.
Great.
Yeah.
That's a good point, Kathy. I think a lot of times, we use that as an inspiration. I do that all the time. Like I like to follow people who have accomplished big things. They're like, wow, how do they do that? They must have not quit. So in your guys' situation, like, oh, how does Laura do it? How does how did this person get their license? Like, how do they do it? You know, and it's really good to use that as inspiration and confidence. And like, hey, if that person can do it, I can do it. That's a good part of the chapter, Kathy. I like that. It's because they didn't quit. How did they do that? It's because they didn't quit. All right. So think of some people that you guys look up to, people who have accomplished some things, and use that as an inspiration. I think it's a good tool. All right. Thanks, Kathy. Yeah, trust Maria.
Mine's on page 174. It's the second paragraph. It says, I was unable to really get in communication with her because I didn't know what she liked or had an interest in. I was getting nowhere fast, but I refused to give up. So I like that one because it's like, it reminds me of when like clients don't answer, we keep calling them and we keep leaving voicemails.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's like, oh, we want to give up because it's like, oh, well, they're never going to answer. But you just need to keep trying and they'll probably answer.
Mhm.
They'll call you back. You keep leaving voicemails.
Yeah. What was the what was it that finally got him to get the appointment?
He found out what she was interested in,
Mm-hmm. Which was.
the guns.
Mm-hmm.
So he set up like a date to do something that she liked.
Right.
He said it's not something that I was interested, but she was interested in.
Right. That's a key part. That's a key part of getting that sale. So how can we use that concept with our job?
Know what they want.
Know what they want.
Ask.
Mm-hmm. I think sometimes when it comes to following up, you know, when to your point, Maria, you gotta keep doing things. But I think sometimes it's good to know, like, hey, so how do you like to be communicated? You know, because sometimes I'll know, but sometimes I have to ask, like, hey, some people don't want a phone call follow-up as much. Some people like getting text, or some people like emails better too. So by doing a lot of different things or understanding what they want, you know, hey, do you want to be called at? And I think Jazz, I heard you do this. Like, what time do you like to be called? Okay, for life insurance appointments too, like the big sales, and I think that's really where some of this chapter we learn a lot from life insurance sales. Like, do you want me to go to you? Do you want to come here? Do you want to do it over the phone? Do you want to meet me at the office on a Saturday? Like, what do they want? It's such an important concept when it comes to sales and understanding that. All right, cool. Thanks, Maria. Okay, right back.
Mine is on page 174,
Mm-hmm.
starting from the fourth line. I call her the following day with enthusiasm and great attitude, convincing myself that I could get her interested in me. Attitude is the senior to product. Again, it didn't go the way I was hoping. She still seemed completely uninterested in my product, me. And I was a bit annoyed that I called her. I knew I was missing that mark, but I was totally convinced that she was the one, completely sold on the product. So pretty much I like this because it's all about attitude. So if you make your client feel so good, like making them smile,
Mm-hmm.
or making like you're interested in them, helping them try to save money, explain the coverage, they will buy from you.
Yeah, attitude is everything, right?
Yeah.
That we learned that in the other chapter. What kind of attitude also helps? What kind of things? Because with follow-ups, and a lot of it is, you know, this chapter is about persistence. But sometimes if you have the wrong attitude or the wrong tone, or it could be like, you know, a situation like Blanca said, you could get blocked, you get annoying. So what are some tips about how to show them you have the right attitude?
Make them feel good, like they always right, that you're trying to help them,
Mhm.
make them smile, feel like you're a part of the family,
Mhm.
or a friend that want to help them, you know.
Great.
Because
That's
they don't
it.
want to be sold, they just want to be helped.
Right. That's a great point. You guys agree with that? That's a great point Martha just said. And I think with follow-ups, I think it's also good to just, you know, show them that you care. See, it's really important to remember what the conversation was, and that's what the lead organizer is for. So if they say, hey, I want to talk to my brother about this, then you follow up saying, hey, what's your brother think? You know, you care. It's not like, hey, you want to buy? You know, can you make my commission now? You know, it's like, hey, what did your wife think about this? I remember she wants to think about it. You know, so what do you guys think? So remembering the reasoning on the follow-up. Another one is humor. Okay, just you know, having the right attitude. So this guy, what was the line he used?
I think he said like, oh, and by the way, I'm growing.
Yeah.
Because she didn't like shortcuts.
Right.
Yeah.
So he got that information and used that as humor. how you flip that around to. So I thought that was good.
I was saying, he was like informed himself.
Yeah, you got the information necessary and use that so being funny is really a great way to get sales too. I think we all know that, right? Yeah, so showing attitude, just being positive, just showing that you care about them. So it's a really learned skill is to follow up and be persistent without being annoying or rude or, you know, yeah, just you don't want to be annoying, that's for sure. So, yeah, great book review. Thank you, Laura and Silvio, for sharing your stories. Everybody else could do it later on live. But yeah, all right, thank you, girls. Hey, thank you so much for watching my videos. If you haven't done so already, please make sure to subscribe. And then stay tuned for more future videos to help you grow your insurance agency. And also comment below and let me know what you think. Until next time, thank you.